Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and thank you for stopping by and watching our videos. On this occasion, we'll show you the best anime videos from the Kyoto Animation Studio you have watched in the previous video. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest video. Here's the best anime video from Kyoto Animation Studio Part 2 that we recommend you to watch. Enjoy it! Number 10 is Tsurune Kazemai Koko Kyoto Yabai. It's an anime adaptation of the Japanese light novel series written by Kotoko Ayano with illustrations by Chinatsu Morimoto. The novel had won a Special Judge Award in the Kyoto Animation Award competition in 2016 and was published by the studio in December of that year too. The anime adaptation aired in fall 2018 with a total of 13 episodes. It follows the story of a young man named Minato Narumiya who joined the Kyudo Club at his school. Until one day there was an incident in the tournament in which he participated, which caused him to decide to stop. The Kyudo Club itself is an archery club, referring to the archery martial arts that have emerged since the periods of ancient Japanese feudal samurai. After Minato quit Kyoto, his childhood friends Seiya Takehaya and Ryohei Yamanouchi tried to persuade him to rejoin Kyoto's club again, although at first he refused to join. At one time, Minato met a mysterious man in an archery field in the forest, and this man inspired Minato to return to archery. Number 9 is Liz and the Bluebird. Liz and the Bluebird, also known as Liz to Aotari, is a 2018 animated film directed by Kyoto Animation, based on the light novel Euphonium written by Takeda, a spin-off sequel of Sound, the Euphonium television series, focusing on the supporting characters Mizore Yoroizuka and Nozomi Kawasaki. The film focuses on the friendship of high school students and musicians Mizore and Nozomi as they prepare for a concert with their school's wind band. Number 8 is Myriad Colors Phantom World. Myriad Colors Phantom World, also known as Musaiken no Phantom World, is an anime adaptation of the Japanese light fantasy novel series written by Soichiro Hatano and illustrated by Shirabi, for its anime adaptation airing in winter 2016 for a total of 13 episodes. The story is set in the future, where the accidental release of experimental viruses causes an outbreak that changes people's minds in the world. This prison allows humans to see various extra-dimensional beings commonly called phantoms. Moreover, some children born after the plague have developed special powers that allow them to fight and seal the phantoms. The story revolves around Haruhiko Ichijo and his friends at the Phantom Hunting Club at Hosea Academy, where it's a special school for children with the ability to seal phantoms. Number 7 is Full Metal Panic: The Second Raid. It's the second season anime of the Full Metal Panic franchise directed by Kyoto Animation. Full Metal Panic itself is an adaptation of a light novel written by Soichi Kato and illustrated by Shiki Douchi. The story follows the journey of a member of a private military organization or anti-terrorist organization known as Mithril. The story begins with a man named Sosuke Sagawa. He's a member of the military who has the task of protecting Kaname Chidori, a very passionate Japanese girl who then brought Sosuke to Japan to study at Jindai High School with his colleagues' help. Having a military background and rarely having social interactions, Sosuke was considered a military maniac by his schoolmates as he interpreted everyday situations from a combat perspective. Number 6 is Kanon. Kanon is an anime adapted from a Japanese adult novel visuals developed by Key and released in June 1999 for Windows PCs. Later, Key released a version of Kanon with no erotic content, and the game was ported to Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation Portable. After the game was released, Kanon began to make several transitions to other media, started from 2 manga series realized in Dengeki Daioh and Dragon Age Pure. In addition, light novels and manga are also published. The original anime adaptation aired in winter 2002 with a total of 13 episodes and directed by Toei Animation. Then in fall 2006, Kyoto Animation remade the anime with a total of 24 episodes. It started with a boy named Aizawa Yuichi, who as a child often visited his cousin's place in the city. However, one day something happened that made Aizawa was unable to go there anymore. All these years had passed and Aizawa could finally return, but his memory of the place was simply lost. Settling in the Winter City, Yuichi meets several young girls, all of whom are connected to his past. It all started when he befriends them and performs various interactions. This makes memories of Aizawa's past begin to reemerge, in which all are connected. Number 5 is Tamako Market. Tamako Market is a Japanese anime television series produced by Kyoto Animation, directed by Naoko Yamada and written by Reiko Yoshida. The anime began airing in winter 2013 with a total of 12 episodes. The story centers on a girl named Tamako Kitashirakawa. She is the daughter of a family that runs a mochi shop called Tamaya in the Usagiyama shopping district. The story begins that one day, Tamako meets a strange talking boy named Dara Mochimazi, which comes from a distant country in search of the prince's wife in its native country. After being overweight due to eating too much mochi, Dara eventually becomes a freelancer at Tamako's house. The series follows the daily lives of Tamako, her friends, family, and neighbors, and doesn't forget a strange boy named Dara. Number 4 is Lucky Star. Lucky Star is an anime adaptation of a 4-panel manga series written by Kagami Yoshimizu, which began serialization in Comptek Kadokawa Shoten magazine in December 2003. The series has no ongoing plot and usually focuses on the character's daily life. The anime adaptation aired in spring 2007 with a total of 24 episodes. Lucky Star's story mainly depicts the lives of 4 girls who attended a Japanese high school, the main setting of which is based on the city of Kasukabe in Saitama Prefecture. The main character is Konata Izumi, a lazy girl who constantly neglects her schoolwork and instead spends most of her time watching anime, playing video games, and reading manga. Although Konata is a lazy girl, she also proved to be very intelligent and athletic. Number 3 is Amagi Brilliant Park. Amagi Brilliant Park is an anime adaptation of the Japanese light novel series written by Shoji Kato and illustrated by Yuka Nakajima. Fujimi Shobo has published 8 volumes since February 2013, under the footsteps of their Fujimi Fantasia Bunko. Then in fall 2014, the series received an anime television series adaptation with a total of 13 episodes. The story centers on a young man named Seiya Kanye, who is a former child artist. He grew as a handsome boy as well as being a very perfectionist. One day, he met a mysterious girl named Izuzu Sento, who forced him to visit a playground called Amagi Brilliant Park, where this place was experiencing very serious financial problems. This caused the park to be closed. However, behind the amusement park that looks damaged, Amagi Brilliant Park is a refuge for creatures from another world called Maple Land. To save the park from being closed, Seiya was hired to manage all the shortcomings that occurred in Amagi Brilliant Park. Number 2 is Hibike Euphonium. Sound Euphonium, or in the Japanese title called Hibike Euphonium, is an anime adaptation of a light novel written by Ayano Takeda. It's set in a place called Uji, the Kyoko area focused on Kitoji High School Music Club, with a concert band constantly evolving because of the instructions from the newly appointed advisors. A manga adaptation illustrated by Hami was serialized in Kono Manga Gasugoi website. Later in spring 2015, the series received an anime adaptation with a total of 13 episodes. The Kitoji High School Concert Band Club, better known as the Champion School, often participates in national tournaments. However, since the club's advisor changed, they have not even been able to enter the qualification tournament. Since having a new advisor, the club has begun to rise and begin to build on its strength. Despite some conflicts and dramas that frequently occurred, they will have to fight harder to get what they decide to achieve. Number 1 is Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions. Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions, or also known as Chunibyo Demo Koi ga Shitai, is an anime adaptation of the Japanese light novel written by Toraku, with illustrations by Nozomi Osaka. The story begins with a young man named Yutai Tagashi, who tries to banish the embarrassing delusions he often did in the past. However, since his meeting with a girl named Rika Takanashi, who is also a person who has hints as Chunibyo, which finally drags Yuta and Rika to form a club at their school called Fall is Magical Napping Society Summer, with Shinkani Botani's classmates Kumin Suyuri and Sanae Komori, each of whom has their unique delusional behavior. The anime adaptation itself aired in fall 2012 with a total of 12 episodes. Well, it's all the best anime from Kyoto Animation Part 2. Is there any of your favorite anime on the list? If there is, write in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share this video to your friends. Thank you so much for watching and see you guys in the next video. Bye.